This is BNN, the Bennington News Network.
Goes back to Tom for number 6, and it's a good segue from what we were talking about into the next question.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. Number 6, Tom. There's been much discussion around Bennington joining with neighboring communities in terms of better marketing and branding programs and initiatives. Some of those initiatives include the Southern Vermont Economic Development Zone and the Shires of Vermont. Do you support these efforts, or are you of the belief that Bennington really needs to focus on Bennington alone?
Be Bennington and do it better. You know, that was what we always thought. You know, that's when you have your buckets full of resources and you can just go and pull them out. Frankly, it's not that way in the real world anymore. We have to have a regional approach to the world. The funds that we put in have to be matched or at least participated in with by other communities so that we entice folks to come to this area to enjoy what we have. But it's a lot easier to get that message out if you do it in a critical mass scenario. So I think everything that we do in the marketing, most everything that we do in the marketing really will get a bigger bang for our buck if we get into the regional mindset for getting the activity that we really need for the world to know that we're open for business. And it's hard to get that out with the dollars that are limited in scope. Our budget is skinny, and we've actually increased the budget in the last couple of years, but even in that effort, it's not enough to really get out into that part of the marketing world, the Albanys and the south of the Boston area, to get that word out. And I think all of us will be better served if we use that $1 and put it with 9 others to get that word out, because it's the region. That's all.
So I think it's very important that we look at what Bennington needs and then we act regionally. I think we have worked with the North Shire in marketing the Shires for a while. I think we have great new opportunities looking at connecting Bennington to Brattleboro and looking at a Southern Vermont economic tier. I think we need to look toward Albany, we need to look south toward Pittsfield. I mean, we are a region and we attract regionally. There are some very good advantages to us. I think it allows us to be a nucleus to retain and to bring in new companies. We can make our supply chain web much stronger so that we're able to have businesses selling to other businesses and using materials from that are made locally, and that's going to make us much stronger. It also gives us increased access to workforce, and I think that is also a critical component. So I don't see any downside. We need to look at what Bennington needs, but then we absolutely need to act regionally.
I don't think it's an either-or proposition. The Shire's marketing has been around for quite a while. I wonder how much effect that really has had and what have we really gotten out of it. I don't know what the answer is, but I'd go back to trying to measure something, anything that we're doing to see whether it's working. You go eastward to Brattleboro, I think this is a good effort, but I would be cautious about getting caught up in yet another round of discussions about what our problems are. I've been to an awful lot of meetings over the years about, well, what's wrong, what do we need, and we don't seem to get beyond defining the problem. We don't seem to get into any implementation stage. So I wouldn't discount doing it. I think it's a good thing to do, but I wouldn't want to put all the marbles in it. I would support it. I would want to try to make it more practical, more realistic, more proactive, and come out of it with a program. I think there are definitely advantages to grouping together with other people and in larger groups, but I'd say I'd be cautiously suspicious, and I really wouldn't want to lose sight of the local planning and coordinating. We have a lot of resources locally that could use better organization, better coordination, and I think we see some changes where that may happen. But start right here with our vision here and what can we do, and then how do we springboard to these regionals? How do we use these regional efforts to really move forward and not just keep going around in the circles?
We are pretty proud of Bennington collectively. And so when you have something that you're really proud of, there is a tendency to look inward and be insular. We're a part of a million-plus marketplace when you look west and south of us. There's no other place in the state of Vermont that can say that they are a part of a population center that is southwestern Vermont, east central New York State, and northwestern Massachusetts. So given that, it's very hard for us to get too border-centric. This past summer, Vermont Digger conducted a forum in Manchester and talked about economic development. And I think we've all had a history, I know that from a downtown perspective, we've had a history of sort of seeing Manchester as a rival in the marketplace. We don't want to be Manchester, but we'd love to be as successful as Manchester. And there were some things said at that forum, which was populated mostly by Manchester people, who talked about Bennington in a way that was almost envious of what formed the core of our community. And if you look at census data and other statistics, we offer the most jobs in the county. We have obviously the greatest population in the county. We have the medical center of the county. And so suddenly I was hearing people from outside of Bennington thinking about everything that we have. And in answer to this question, I think it suggests that we shouldn't get caught up in just looking at the small picture, but need to look at the big picture.
I happen to love collaboration. Collaborating with people, I think, is always a good idea. No one community, I think, has all the answers, and to not, use the wealth of information that surrounds you, to me, makes no sense. I think always having more perspectives, participating in a conversation is always a good idea. The marketing piece, that's a no-brainer. You're sharing the cost. You're reaching a much bigger footprint of the region. I can't see a downside to collaborating. I guess I would also, we do need to maintain an identity that we can call our own, but I don't think collaborating would necessarily cause that to happen. We are close to a lot of regions over state lines, and we're a small town, and there's lots of small towns surrounding us, and I think if we all work together to bring people here, to bring jobs here, I think it would be a wonderful thing.